Welcome to the Gamescape, everybody. My name is Jarek, and today we're back in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. This is episode 141 of our playthrough, and a lot of things happened in our previous episode. I've returned us to the Nexus, and we were immediately here with the Hand of the Inheritor, and so I'm going to just jump right into this. I'll go over the summary here in just a few minutes, maybe. The Hand of the Inheritor is silent for a long time before speaking. It appears I am the one to blame for the discord between us. I was a poor companion, and I left you alone in a den of evil. And soon I will leave you again, so please listen to me before we part. Remorse and grief filled the angel's voice. My faith has suffered a terrible blow, but in my blaze of desperation and anger, I have spared no thought for your feelings. Even if you are not the chosen one of my radiant mistress, you are still the victim of a plot devised by an evil soul whose insidiousness defies description. You have my sympathy, believe me. If only I knew how to heal your soul of the corruption Aurilu Vorlesh has placed in it. I would do so without a moment's hesitation, but I have no such knowledge, and I see no hope ahead, just darkness and inevitability. Okay, so this changes nothing, basically. Whoever gave me my powers, I will use them only as I see fit. Alas, this changes a great deal, almost everything, in fact. Grief grows in the angel's voice, accompanied by bewilderment. Listen, Valric, I have already told you that I trust in your good intentions, and I believe you were used against your will. But it is also true that you were a weapon forged by the same hands that mutilated the world with the world wound. And no matter what intentions Aurilu and her patrons are hiding, they cannot be good. Therefore, no matter how difficult it is for me to say it, you cannot return to the Crusaders and fight alongside the righteous. And I am not prepared to support you in any other endeavors. Any course of action you choose could prove to be a secret plan orchestrated by Aurilu and the Demon Lords. I would be glad to heal you, but I can't. I would be happy to bring retribution to Aurilu and the Lady of Shadow for what they've done, but it is not within my power. I am helpless here, but I cannot just sit around and doing nothing. I am leaving. I am going to hunt down the Echo of Descari. Then at least one righteous thing will have been accomplished in the abyss. Forgive me. The angel falls silent. His words sound desperate, as if he does not truly believe in the success of his mission and is seeking your forgiveness now because he knows there will not be another chance. All right, so we have a couple of choices here. Okay, I think we're just going to go with the main good path here. Think of me however you want, but I'm going to save the Echo of Descari's captive with or without you. My powers may come from demons, but that's no excuse to stop helping my friends. The angel looks ashamed. How bitter it is. You, whom I accused of being an involuntary accomplice to dark powers, reminding me of our friend in distress. You are right. We must complete our mission first, and we can address all the other issues later. No, you won't go alone. I will support you, at least in this mission. I'll go to the Echo's lair with you. Just lead the way. Okay, so there's that, guys. So yeah, a lot happened in the last episode. I mean, a lot happened in the last episode. So we ended up returning to Shamira with the info that the storyteller gave us about the Nahindrian crystals. Those being the crystallized blood of demon lords. But when we got there, the Hand of the Inheritor did caution us that maybe it wasn't the best idea to give the info to her. There was an option there that would have certainly gotten us attacked, where we openly and loudly defied her in front of her entire court. We chose a slightly less boisterous, I guess, path instead. We still told her we weren't going to give her the info and that we don't answer to her. And she was amused by that. And she basically assaulted Valric's mind and tore the information from him anyway, then dismissed us. As we were leaving, we heard Nocticula's voice as well and convinced her to grant us an audience. So after that, we went to Nocticula's palace. I went in there prepared for a big fight because of something she had said that she would show up when the time was right, but somebody else would entertain us first. That sounded like a fight to me, so we went in all beefed up. In fact, it ended up being Aurilu Vorlesh that we were face to face with. Many things were revealed in that, the highlights of which are that the wound in Valric's chest is because of an Nahindrian crystal, and he was infected with its power, like many of the other demons. However, this is a more purified form of the power, and that was so that he didn't immediately guess its origin, I guess. And that has basically allowed Valric to shape the powers as he has seen fit. Hand of the Inheritor did abandon us at that point because of this apparent corruption. He said he needed time to think and reflect, and we just resolved that. We also found out that Nocticula wants to close the world wound. It was originally a convenience for her to have access to Galarian, and she intended to use that as neutral ground where demons could meet even with angels. Unfortunately, the wound also granted access to Galarian to both Deskari and Baphomet, both of whom have started encroaching on the Midnight Isles to steal the hindering crystals from her. And unfortunately for her, she can't just close the wound. That would start a war she's currently not able or willing to fight. And so she and Arilu concocted this plan to have a mortal do the work, with them helping behind the scenes. And that would allow them to accomplish the goal without the war. Ember got her chance to talk to Nocticula for a few moments, basically hoping to convert her to something better. The Redeemer Queen is what she suggested, and at least Nocticula found it amusing, but in the end she told Ember to leave and say nothing more. Ember asked if we thought Nocticula took her words to heart. The answer to that is an absolute resounding no, but not wanting to crush Ember, I told her that I didn't know. So we told Nocticula about the vision the storyteller saw of the future where Baphomet's forces were overrunning Nocticula with Nihindrian enhanced demons. She noted the warning and said she wasn't surprised, but she'd keep a closer eye on them. And we also now have access to the Echo's realm. Nocticula's demons will open the portal for us so that we can go after him. She did warn, however, that is not a quiet thing and that he would definitely know that we're coming. And then finally, Nocticula wants us to travel to Hepsimir's secret fortress to destroy her, quote-unquote secret. She will provide an airship to get us there, but we need to deal with the Echo first, and that's what we're going to do today. So, or at least we're going to start that today. So we've already had the Inheritor thing go. I am going to get the party rested so that we're going into this boss battle fully ready. All right, so we need a we need another scroll. We're gonna keep with her. I think maybe Stone Skin for this one. Stone Skin Communal. That seems like it's a good one. A little damage resistance for everybody's probably not the worst thing.
No, you're wrong. There are treants in the desert too. Garundis call them tabongos.
You're kidding me. Fine, I lose, which means I drink. Next, I bet that in all of Galarian, a sentient slime has never held any government post.
All right, we got some more people that need their mythic advances done. Do I want to do these real quick? I don't think we're taking any of them. We're taking our normal team in, so those can probably wait. So I'll just hold off on that, and I'll catch that between episodes. I did get our current party done. All right, so we are back to the lower city. And yep. And then we need, we could hit the Bad Luck Tavern, I suppose. That's pretty close. Okay, so here's our airship captain. We could talk to her as well if we wanted to not take Nocticula's. I'm thinking... Oh, that wasn't... That's the wrong door. I need this door over here. We need to buff up before we go in, of course. All right, let's get this done.
Rely on me.
She's going to use her greater angelic aspect.
We'll make things right.
Ember doesn't need too much. She has false life, however, which I probably will go ahead and do. Yeah, I'm going to just buff the party up. I'll bring you guys back when I'm done. Okay, here we go. We are back and we are all buffed up. I have got everybody protective luck. I didn't bother with fortune yet because I don't know exactly what's on the other side, and fortune only works once per 24 hours, so I'm going to just hold off on that for now. But everybody else is all buffed up and we're ready to go in. The arch to the portal looks as though a giant has taken a forge hammer and smashed it to pieces. However, the portal itself is clearly open and active. Turgona says, "You're here. I saw Nocticulus servants visit the portal. They destroyed almost everything. I expected them to launch an assault, but they simply opened the gate and disappeared. I did not reveal myself to them." All right. Good. I want the Echo to know we're here. I hope he's trembling in his lair. Yeah, I doubt it. All right, here we go. We are immediately... A Dyrachni Devastators right here, a couple of them. Which is why we buffed up. I thought I had mirror image on Ember.
Soot is restless.
I probably didn't wait long enough. Oh, she doesn't have mirror image. Never mind. Nenio does, though.
Oh, yes, what?
Oh, we can only have one mirror image. Okay. For whatever reason, you can't have two guys with mirror image? That's silly. Alright. Well, in that case, you can do this. Little displacement. Recently be a deer. And take this guy out for me, if you would. There we go. There's all of her stuff back. She might as well move up and do this.
I will resist.
Actually, you know what? Let's turn that off and let's just shoot him from where we are.
Yourself. I will defend my dream.
Nice.
Destiny, guide my hand.
Okay, Wiljiff, can you charge that guy? No. Okay, let's have you get out of the way then. Oh, I probably should have hasted everybody up. That would have been probably a smart thing. We probably don't need haste for these two. Okay, Nenio, let's see if you can knock one of these guys down with a Phantasmal Killer. Yeah, he made his second save. Okay, Ember, why don't you blast away? Let's get this guy. Oh, she can't. She moved. Okay, well. Get out here, block him. Alright, Arushle, can you finish him? Oh, yeah. Okay, oh, this is fun. Rock Pillagers.
Cover me, all right?
There's one down. Let's get this guy here, maybe. Now we probably are going to want the... Let's get on this guy before he mirror images. Argona's with us at least. Alright, Nenio, let's have another one of those. Nice. Okay, Ember, let's have more fire bolts. Finish him. Nice. Silo, why don't you charge that guy back here? Alright, Arushle.
I will resist.
Ember, why don't you help out over here?
The light take you!
Prepare yourself.
Okay, let's get everybody back
My
together.
tail is restless.
And let's get that bless cast so that we stop taking damage from the spores. There we go. All right, so there was loot over here. Okay, a couple of minor magic items there. I did get a Ruchelet. Are we right into it? We are right into it. The avatar of the Demon Lord stands motionless in the center of this horrific parody of a temple. At first glance, it looks as though the Echo of Deskari is praying. However, upon closer inspection, you realize that he is watching a swarm of insects consume the body of one of its victims. Eliandra's body is covered in horrible wounds, but when she turns to you, her eyes are bright. I see light in this dark place. I knew my hopes were not in vain. The hand of the Inheritor's voice trembles with righteous fury. I have witnessed many abominations here in the Abyss, but I have never seen anything more revolting than this abode of filth. My enemy, you may be called the Echo of Deskari, but it is time for the Echo to fall silent. I thought you'd like my home, Hand of the Inheritor. After all, I created it in the image and likeness of your goddess's temple. Many angels and mortals have lost their lives within these walls. They called out to Idomade, but she never answered. No matter how many torments they endured, their pleas were music to my ears. Don't you think that a temple is the best place to commit such bloody sacrilege? For a moment, Sela looks around in shock, but then her dark eyes flash with anger. Someone will answer for all this evil and for torturing our friend. Did you really think you could surprise me? Do you think you could catch me off guard after you alerted all of Elutionira and Nocticula herself to your presence? The noise you made breaking down the portal was enough to wake the dead demon lords in the Rift of Repose. But fine, I'll play your little game. I'll be an accommodating host. Listen to you brag about how clever you've been. It won't take long for you to realize that you've walked straight into my trap. Yeah, hold on, Eliandra, we're coming. My suffering is at an end, and so is the life of my enemy. Not this time. I've prepared something very amusing for you. Now you will burn. Terrible rumble shakes the Echo's lair, and then... Oh, that's big. Sargona's face is pale with rage and grief. It's the Devastator, a demonic mechanism. It's incredibly, immeasurably dangerous, and its fuel... Oh, I can feel the fire, the pain. This mechanism burns angels alive and uses their power as fuel. Close ranks. This won't be an easy fight.
It's either us or them.
Okay, so one of the abilities that Arushale has picked up is her mythic thing. She has the same ability now that Lan has, where her first spell she casts after initiative is rolled is free, as long as it's level 1 or 2 levels under her current ability. So she's going to cast Sense Vitals here. And she's going to start letting this guy have it. Let's see what we're dealing with here. All right. Level 30 Construct, 285 hit points. It has damage reduction 15, except for against Adamantium. It is immune to a lot of things. Energy, cold, electricity, fire, negative, positive energy. It's immune to fear, compulsion, poison, charm, stunned, death, ability score damage and drain. Spell immunity to all the dominate spells.
Desna, guide my hand.
Other than that, I mean, it's got high armor class, but it's got some hit points, but I don't think this is going to be that too difficult of a fight unless I'm missing something, which I probably am. But let's have at it. Okay, Ember. He's not immune to your fire bolts. Okay, we got more Elder Vrox here. Woljif, haste us up. Valric can probably finish this thing off. Huh. An angel falls out of the destroyed demonic mechanism. Targona shrieks like a wounded bird and dashes toward him. The angel's body is covered in burns. He is alive but unconscious. My brother, Targona whispers. How could this be? We thought you were dead. Is that Lariel? It's him, Targona cries out joyfully. That accursed echo has been keeping Lariel prisoner this whole time. He was holding him in secret, saving him for a special occasion, and then he decided to throw him into the furnace of a devastator. Now I understand the invisible burns that you and Targona suffered at the Nexus. Both of you are connected to Lariel. She is his sister. You inherited the light of his sword. When he was thrown into the demonic fire, you felt his pain. The two of you shared his suffering and anguish. Can we help him? Yes, Targona's voice is filled with joy. He's wounded and weak, but we'll take him to the Nexus and heal his wounds. Everything will be all right. Ember claps her hands. We found her brother. We saved him from the fire, just like that good knight who once saved me. All right, the fight's over. We'll go help Eliandra. I'll come with you, champion. The echo has escaped, and it grieves me that we cannot give him the punishment he deserves, but at least we can save our comrade. All right. Segments of the dismembered bodies have been put together in the shape of a sword, the symbol of Iomedae. Nice. His corpse is bound hand and foot. Its lips are frozen, and its final death cry and larvae spell out of its open mouth. That's a happy picture. From a distance, the beautiful angel appears to be unscathed. As you move closer, however, you can see that he's covered in a seething swarm of insects. They are crawling out of numerous wounds and in lacerations in his body. All right, well, we need to get moving here. Tick tock, as its saying goes. We need to put something in there, so we're missing something. I guess we're gonna have to go this way. Who's still taking damage?
Trust in yourself.
She is, for another minute. I mean, there's nowhere to go. We're missing something, obviously. Well, let's check the journal. The journal might... we talk to anybody? The Echo Discari's empty lair stretches out before you like a sinister parody of a holy temple. We should not linger. No way for us to leave this place, and it doesn't require a key to the portal. There's a service entrance that used to receive and deliver goods from the Lucianera. It's protected by magical wards, but they're not very strong. The wards may injure us, but I do not think they will kill us. We ought to leave this place as soon as possible. We're no longer in the Midnight Isles. We're in another abyssal realm that's 1,000 times more dangerous. We do not have long before the residents of this realm discover our intrusion. Okay, so never mind. We can burn everything here. That's probably not the worst idea. I guess we already have Eliandra. So, okay, great. Yes, let the fire burn away the filth. You boat of grief and filth, fire will be your fate. You will burn and we will leave victorious. The light of heaven, bright as ever, flows from you and kindles a holy fire, the wrathful flame of the righteous. Maybe wait till everybody's out before you blow everything up next time. Valric, come on. All right. Well, that was easier than expected. All right, so looking at the journal, what do we got? Walking on corpses. Go to Colifer. Hepzimira's whereabouts have been ascertained. Dangerous knowledge. Lady in Shadow wishes to obtain the Lexicon of Paradox and has promised a great reward for its acquisition. However, few rewards can compare to the value of this book, and it may be wiser to deny Nocticula and keep the Lexicon. Well, I mean, do I have to go all the way back to her then for this? Probably. Well, we're going to have to return to her anyway after we defeat her, so we'll catch those at the same time. All right. Well, in that case, let's head up this way. So here's a question. We're going to come into the tavern because we need the portal one way or another probably. But here's the question that we have to ask is, do we take Nocticula up on her offer to give us the airship and a crew and get us out to the island? Or do we take our own? I think we take our own way. I would prefer not to count on Nocticula for... I would prefer to count on her for as little as possible, let's say. So I think we're going to ask Milara here if we can get to the Midnight Isles with her. Or to get out to Hepzimira's fortress with her. Sorceress nods to you affably, though judging by her eyes, her thoughts are far from happy. I'm glad to see you again. Yeah, I need to get to Colifer. Can you get us there? Sorceress looks at you surprised. Aren't you worried about the curse hanging over me? You want to take me with you on a long and dangerous expedition anyway? You're either very brave or very careless, though this really doesn't matter much. Doesn't matter which. A defiant expression appears on the sorceress's face. We are quite capable of reaching the destination, no matter how long or dangerous the route might be. Starcatcher III never wavers in the face of challenge. I sincerely hope you've chosen your best companions to go with you, because he won't be able to carry more than 6 people. Also, you should take care with your gear. On a long expedition, you can only count on the things you've brought with you. For 150,000 gold coins, I can take you to that island in first-class style. We can try and see if she can take it. Diplomacy 27 versus a 41. That's a 13 we'd need to roll. Well, it's not going to hurt. Yeah, nope. Sorceress withdraws in contemplation for a little while, then shakes her head resolutely. Excuse me, but the answer is no. I don't know you well enough to trust your words. 150,000 gold, huh? Okay, now let me think it over. Fair winds. All right, well, that's a lot. We're sitting on 250 right now, plus we could probably sell some things. Not too much to sell, really, but a few things we could probably get rid of. And not really, actually. Most of what we have is stuff that we want to keep. The mythic thing that he picked up, Woljif picked up, was he now gets his dex bonus to all finesse weapons, not just daggers. So I figured since he's using a long sword and or a short sword and has been for a while, that's probably going to up his damage considerably. He gets like +8 or something like that to his. All right, well, 150,000 gold for her to take us out, or we go back to Nocticula and take her airship. I think if we refuse to give her the paradox, she's going to be a lot less the book. She's going to be a lot less eager to be helpful to us, though. All right. Well, I tell you what. Let's do the 150,000. I just have a bad feeling that trusting Nocticula with something like this is not going to be in our best interest. And we have the money, and we can get more money, and it's not that big of a deal. So we'll go with this. Get your ship and crew ready. We're heading right away. Melira raises her chin and solemnly pronounces, "In that case, Starcatcher III and her crew are at your disposal." The ship waits at the mooring pillars, but you don't need to bother yourself with visiting that nasty and unpleasant place. After you're done with all your current business in Illusionera and are ready to head off, just use this portal. It'll drop you right onto the deck of Starcatcher III. Okay. Nice. All right. I think we're ready. I don't think we need anything else. We're kind of buffed up already and everything's decent, so let's get on it. You have a long and dangerous journey ahead. You will be no turning back. You will only be able to rely on yourself and your companions. Before departing this deadly and dangerous mission, you'd be wise to check your equipment meticulously and complete all unfinished business, because the opportunity to come back here may never appear again. All right, well, in that case, we do need to go talk to Nocticula and tell her that we're not giving her the lexicon. So I'm going to get us up to Nocticula's palace, and I will bring you back when I get there. See you in just a minute. Okay, guys, here we are. We're back in Nocticula's palace. In fact, we're right at her throne here. Nocticula grants you a magnanimous smile. Are you finished with your business and ready to hunt down Hepsamira? Okay, so we're not given an opportunity here to talk to her really about the... yeah, so we don't have an option to talk to her about the lexicon, unfortunately, so... All right, well, all right, never mind then. I guess that's not a thing. So we've already paid for the other ship to take us, so we're going to use the other ship. So let me get us back to the tavern, and we'll get on board the ship. I'll be right back. All right, we're back in the tavern. Let's do this. Okay. Step into the portal. Here we go. Day 12, month Barast, year 4716. The route marked on the map connects Elenithia and Colifer with a black line. It is straight and steadfast, just like the commander himself, determined to catch and slay his enemy, Hepsamira, Baphomet's daughter, at all costs. Starcatcher III easily catches the air current and glides forward. Discipline, instilled by the grim sorceress called Melira, reigns over the ship. Silent and diligent sailors sweep away the tiniest signs of mess on the deck with the eagerness of zealous inquisitors. Having apparently decided against a game of hide and seek, the hand of the inheritor appears on the deck in the flesh, standing unmoving at the ship's prow like a majestic golden statue. Oh, you are coming with us, huh? Time passed one day. The voyage is only just underway, but the commander and his crew are already facing their first challenge. Having spotted the lone ship, a flock of harpies rises from the coastal rocks, armed with hooked talons and carnivorous grins. They rush upward, squawking. Eerie, harmonious, and enchanting songs fill the air. The gaze of some sailors goes blank as they cast away their lines and walk unsteadily toward the ship's broadside to step into the void, where the sweet-voiced songstresses wait for them. Chase off the harpies. That's, we need a 10 for that. Well, we'll try it. Succeeded. Nice. Even for an inexperienced archer, hitting a nimble harpy in midair is no mean feat, but somehow the crew manages to strike down several with well-aimed shots. The screams of fury drown out the enchanting songs, and the crew drives the winged predators away from the ship. With shrieks of disappointment, they continue circling in the distance for a while, but in the end head off in search of less dangerous prey. 3 more days have passed. Many cultures consider malice and belligerence to be contagious diseases. In the abyss, one particular place transmits such quarrels in the air like a noxious miasma. This place is Mara Island, and the ship is flying right over it. Discord-sowing whispers fill the thoughts of every crew member. Sailors suddenly begin casting hostile glances at each other, while muted but merciless brawls break out here and there with almost zero provocation. Such is the aura of Mara Island, the heart of malice and disorder, a cauldron of the affliction known as strife. Captain Melira frowns as she observes a discontented mood reigning on her deck. She retires to her cabin, and just a quarter of an hour later, the situation changes drastically. A strange, eerie apathy falls over the ship's crew. The sailors look at each other with blank eyes, unable to comprehend why they've been ready to lunge it for each other's throats just a few minutes ago. The uncanny apathy fades right away after Mara disappears from the horizon, and only then does Melira return to the deck, looking wan and exhausted. Another 2 days. Hurricane of enormous proportions rages toward the ship, threatening to crush the boat like an eggshell. A whirlwind rips a gaping sailor from the tackle and tears him apart in midair. The winds catch the ship and draw it into a deadly dance. The elemental embrace lasts for hours, days, or maybe months. With the stormy darkness and the chaos of crashing salty waves, mere moments seem like an eternity. It feels as if the wild winds have subdued even time itself, twisting it into a bizarre spiral. The commander can barely make out a dark shape of the island called the Lair below, offering a chance that the ship might seek refuge there. But what dangers might await the vessel on land? Would it be smarter to make a valiant attempt to drive the ship through the raging elements? Commander orders the ship to stay on course or to land. Probably get in a fight if we land, but we could wait for the hurricane to pass. Yeah, let's land. That's probably the better. We can deal with things on the ground better than we can deal with a hurricane. Fleeing from the storm that shreds the skies like a hawk ripping into a partridge, the ship descends into a dense undergrowth of Lair. Will this decision lead to salvation or damnation? Only time will tell. 2 days pass. As a rule, death is associated with cold and desolate places that look entirely unlike the densely forested Lair. But one should not forget that in the abyss, alive means dangerous. After a night, a day, and yet another night, the hurricane finally blows itself southwest of Lair. The sky is clear and the mast no longer shudders from the wind's onslaught. Upon emerging from their hiding places, the sailors report with unpleasant surprise that the hull of the ship is tightly ensnared by vines and tree roots, which seem to have discovered and captured their prey with incredible alacrity. A quick head count reveals several sailors have gone missing while standing at watch on the deck. Most probably they fell prey to the near-sentient predatory plants that have made Lair notorious. All right, we're going to not be able to do any of these things because our skills aren't going to be high enough, but we're going to try diplomacy first, spur the sailors on, ordering them to draw their axes. Hey, we made it. A fierce battle rages around the ship. On one side, predatory plants unleash volleys of thorns, waves of suffocating pollen, and grasping vines eager to tear anyone not nimble enough into the thicket. On the other side, screaming sailors chop mercilessly at the entangling vines and bark-armored branches. The ship is surrounded by a mess of chopped plants, and the sailors eagerly cut the hard roots, binding the vessel to the soil. They work skillfully and ruthlessly, and before long the vessel rises into the air again, carrying away the commander and his depleted crew, drenched in blood and plant sap. 4 more days have passed. The outbreak of an epidemic in the close quarters of an airship is a calamity that can easily turn any vessel into a flying mortuary, grimly cruising the airstreams. Unsurprisingly, the crew is horrified when they notice the first signs of disease spreading on board. In the morning, many sailors find themselves unable to rise to their feet. The afflicted are racked by a merciless fever, and several of those most weakened by the journey have already stopped breathing. Neither spells nor mundane cures seem to help. The hand of the inheritor, who has been following the situation closely, withdraws into silent contemplation. Sometime later, he tells the commander that for the sake of success of their mission, he will try to heal the sailors. Okay, so we got a few things going on here. We can try and get a field hospital going on board. These are really difficult. We can entrust the fate to the hand of the inheritor. We can try and establish a field hospital. We can throw a wild drinking party to boost morale. That's probably not the best idea. Let's do this. Let's trust in the hand of the inheritor, even though he doesn't trust us. As he himself admits, the hand of the inheritor is an angel of battle, not of healing. But diseases in the abyss are not just maladies of the body, and their dark essences cannot withstand the power of heaven's touch. Where common potions and spells were powerless, the prayers and magic of Iomede's herald prove extremely potent. The ailing sailors begin to recover. 3 more days have passed. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but this keeps moving forward to our journey. We're almost there. Every aeronaut dreams of distant voyages, gazing upon wonders and collecting a bounty after arriving at their destined port. But no one ever dreams of fighting harpies, monstrous storms, carnivorous plants, or invisible but deadly diseases. The crew is tired, rancorous, and craving an opportunity to unleash their anger. Brandishing their cleavers, they surround the commander. Not all of them, of course, but enough to pose a genuine threat. The hand of the inheritor stands shoulder to shoulder with the commander. A warm glow envelops them both. The angel summons the blessing of heaven to enhance his friend's strength in the event of the fight. Commander, we can try to intimidate them. We can try to calm them down with diplomacy. Those two are about equal. We can attack the leader of the mutineers. Or we can demand the captain calm her crew. This is probably not a good idea. But it is the good path. Well, I mean, at worst, we're going to end up with a fight on our hands here. Or we could surrender. I don't know if that's not a good idea. I don't think. Pretty good chance we're going to get this. Let's do this. Yep, succeeded. Athletics check. The mutineer leader retaliates with a swift counterattack, but the golden glow radiating from Galarian's body blinds the mutineer, meanwhile helping the commander and granting him additional strength. The fight is violent and gory, but it ends quickly. In mere moments, the leader of the mutiny lies wheezing at the commander's feet, choking on his own blood. Judging by their pale faces, the rest of the mutineers have learned their lesson and lost whatever courage drove them to this doomed show of resistance. Hiding their eyes guiltily, they drop to their knees and beg the commander for mercy, wincing at the final rattling gasps of their dying leader. The mutiny has been ruthlessly nipped in the bud. 5 more days. Kofir is in sight. However, it's not the end of the expedition, not for the commander. After all, journeys end in a safe port where the fortunate survivors may heal their wounds, quench their thirst, and drink away their loot. Kofir promises nothing of the sort. It is all grim rocks, gloomy caves, and the horrible creatures lurking within. One such creature notices the ship and takes flight. The beast is an umbral dragon, its scarlet eyes sparkling rapaciously, its jaws opening hungrily, and the airship seems a convenient snack for this monster. Okay. Oh, that's not going to work at all. That's probably not going to work either. I mean, we have no choice, no chance on either of these. I need a 22 for that. Can't get it. Can't get that. I guess we are going to prepare to fight. What happens on the deck after that cannot be called a fight. It's a massacre. The sailors' weapons bounce off the dragon's scales, but its sickle-shaped claws slice through their bodies with ease. The beast tosses the bleeding and screaming chunks of meat into the air, swallowing them with a disgusting purr of satisfaction. Finally, the monster sates its anger and leaves the battered ship alone. Sounds of the battle carry all over Colifer, alerting anyone curious that the visitors have arrived on the island. Finally, the ship touches the ground, and the commander sets foot on the rocky soil of Colifer, Hepsimiro's lair. All right, guys, here we are. We are on the ground. We can talk to the sailor. Oh, he doesn't have anything. What does Malira have to say at this point? She's our ticket back. We've arrived, as promised. Starcatcher III has carried you safely to your destination. I pronounce this expedition complete, relieve you of your position as captain, and wish you good luck on your mission. What are you going to do now? I gave the crew a few minutes to stretch their legs before we depart from Colifer. The local atmosphere doesn't strike me as particularly hospitable, and that scaly monster that almost ate us cannot be the only one around. Could use some help with my mission. It's kind of unfair to ask. Want my money back? Eh, not really. All right, well, fair winds to you then. Malira gives you a swift nod and bids you farewell. I'm sincerely happy that my cruel fate hasn't claimed your life as it has with so many others. You must be special. Of course I'm special. All right, guys. So here we are. We are on the island of Colifer, and we are going to leave it right here because we're getting up near an hour here. This seems like a good place to stop, so I think we're going to call it done here for this time. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, though. If you have, hit that like button for me, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button too. And I'll see you guys in the next episode when we go after Hepsimira herself. See you guys then. Thanks for watching.